So I find that if you can trigger, you get things started by listening in the morning, then you just have to circle back later on. Hi there, Steve Kaufman. Today I want to talk about my morning routine. What do I do in the morning to get my language learning activities started for the day? Remember, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe, click on the bell for notifications, and if you follow these as podcasts on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or elsewhere, please leave a review. So people often ask me sort of specifically, what do you do to learn a language? Okay, the morning is a big part of my language learning day. If you can get stuff done in the morning, first thing, that kind of sets you up for the day. So that even if it's not a very active day from a language learning point of view, at least you've taken that first step. I might first of all just kind of review a couple of lessons on my iPad from the day before in whichever language I'm learning, and nowadays it's either Arabic or Persian. But then, okay, time to get out of bed here. So I will set up in a room where it's quiet and my wife doesn't have to listen to me, where I will play something that's easy to listen to, like the mini stories, for example, even though I've listened to them many times. Or something that's new and fresh, like a podcast that I've just downloaded. So I'll put that on, and that's now running in the background. Then I go to my Muscle Booster website, where I have this 7-minute routine, okay, which consists of sit-ups and push-ups and burpees and stretching and side planks, and there's a range of things, and they mix them every day. I don't know what's coming at me next. It's all in 30-second intervals, and it's extremely good, by the way. And so for 7 minutes, I will be doing these exercises, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, while this Arabic or Persian is running in the background, okay? Then typically, if it's the summer now, I go for a swim in the ocean, and the water is like 16, 17, 18 degrees, depending on the day. So that really wakes you up, I can tell you. 16, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's in the 60s, I think. Around 60. So then, time for breakfast. So typically I go in, I'll cut up fruit, start preparing. We have muesli. I have to make some, I make my espresso coffee, so I grind some coffee beans, set the table, and all the while I'm listening, okay? If the dishwasher was full from the night before, we just run the dishes, I'll go in and empty the dishes. In other words, preparing for breakfast and then also cleaning up after breakfast is at least a half hour of listening. Most days, I will be doing that activity and listening to my language, okay? Now, then maybe, and it has been the case that I tend to have my Arabic online tutor sessions around 10:30 in the morning. And right now, Mohammed seems to have disappeared at italki, so I have Adel Sami. And so that we'll have an hour there, 2 times a week. Then very often my wife likes to play golf, so we've got golf set up at 12:30 or 1, so we charge off to the golf course. If I weren't in the car with my wife, I'd be listening to Arabic or Persian, but you can't, there's a limit, right? There's a limit. I can't do that. So then when I come home, but I wanted to focus on my morning routine because now I have set myself up for the day. So when I come home, I need to find another half hour or so, maybe an hour, to sit down, to go through whatever it was I listened to and save words and phrases or review words and phrases or read it, so that I basically pick up the pieces from what I started in the morning. But the morning is very important. First of all, the 7-minute exercise routine, which is great. Throwing myself in the water sure jars the brain cells. And then spending some time, with the language, listening. Every so often I have to, vacuum or clean up or do other activities around the house. There again, I'll be listening. So a lot of that stuff happens in the morning. Now, other people have other things happening in the morning, like they might be going off to work. But there again, there's an opportunity in a car or on a train or a subway to listen to language. So I find that if you can trigger, you get things started by listening in the morning, then you just have to circle back later on and go and find those things you're listening to where maybe you're curious about certain words or expressions that you kind of half know or completely don't know, and you can look them up and start on the process of learning them. So I just thought I'd mention that my approach to the morning is to make that a place to get a start on the day, whether it be through my physical exercise. If I have time, also with the exercise. If I come home from the golf and I have time, I might get on my stepper or Nordic track or go for a run down at the schoolyard or do something else, maybe lift some weights or use the TRX band or something like that. But at least I've got in that 7 minutes of exercise in the morning. And also at least I've got in that half an hour or 45 minutes combined listening in the morning to get a start on the day from a language learning point of view. So I hope that was of interest, and look forward to your comments. Bye for now.